Hey guys, Bryan here from This, That, and the Other and Roll 420s, and I just wanted to tell you guys about my show Reading Ronin. If you're a fan of short stories and audiobooks, then this is the show for you. Follow along as a disgraced samurai and his young son travel the countryside, and every night he reads a new story to them so they can learn how to read. It's part education show, part audiobook, part narration, and a whole bunch of fun. So if you're a fan of Reading Rainbow, or you're trying to find a way to make sure that your kids get a little bit more education on the go, try and check out Reading Ronin. It's a great show, and it's only available on the Binge on this channel.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of NickFlix and Chill. Jesus Christ, I can't say the name of my own podcast. Well, yeah, it's a good thing this podcast is only gonna reach 6 people ever. That's only people gonna listen. And today we're talking about one of the best of the Universal monsters. I'm talking about the creature from the Black Lagoon. And with most of the monster movies of this age, when it's a person in a suit, there's some scenes where it's like, oh, you can see the gloves slipping off or the headpiece doesn't fit with the suit. It doesn't happen in this one. This is one of the best designed monster costumes of any horror movie, period. Yeah, the makeup was done by Bud Westmore, and the suit was designed by Disney Imagineer Millicent Patrick. I did not even know a Disney person worked on this film. The scenes of the monster on land, Ben Chapman was the stuntman in the suit, and for the scenes with the creature in the water, was done by stuntman Rico Browning, who, as of recording this, July of 2021, he is still alive. He's 90 years old. But Rico Browning has got to be the last living original Universal monster actor. So hats off to him. I thought that was really cool. God bless him. And also the leading lady was Julia Adams, who, she's the standout role performance in this movie. Your eye is just drawn to her. She is fantastic. Very, very underrated actress, who I also just learned passed away only 2 years ago. So another one who survived very long. In fact, all three of those, the Ben Chapman, Rico Browning, and Julia Adams, lived long enough to see the 50th anniversary of this film, and I think that's really cool. And a big thing too that I think really makes this monster interesting is how you really have sympathy for the monster, because it takes place in the monster's domain, in the Black Lagoon. And it's a whole group of stupid scientists who go in and mess with him. And he's just afraid. He's acting in self-defense, but it's like any of the great Universal monsters, you have sympathy for them. Frankenstein, Wolfman, just about all of them except for Dracula. Dracula is a pretty cold-hearted murderer. But all the rest of the Universal monsters, really, you have sympathy for them. So that's another thing I think that really makes this movie good, is just how simple and easy to follow the plot is. It's like the opposite of House on Haunted Hill, where that one was throw in everything, make this as confusing as possible. This one is just, it's a group of scientists in the Amazon. They're looking for fossils, and they start uncovering these weird claw things, and they go, oh, if we go up the river a little bit, we could find something, no one's ever seen before. And the boat captain, who's the one familiar with the area, goes, oh, up the river, it's called the Black Lagoon, and my men who go up there never come back. And all these scientists who are just absolute morons are like, yep, all right, well, let's go. And it's like you're writing your own fucking gravestone, you idiots. But hey, if they didn't do that, you wouldn't have this movie. So But yeah, it's a very simple, there's a group of scientists in a strange lagoon in the Amazon, and the creature comes up and starts attacking them. What more do you need? It is a great little 75-minute movie. Really, too, when it comes to the cast of this movie, a lot of unknowns are in it, which is kind of rare for a Universal movie. You got Richard Carlson and Julia Adams, who I mentioned. They play kind of the love interest. You have Richard Denning, who plays the evil one who wants to capture the creature and get a reward and put everyone's lives in danger by forcing them to say, like, no, we have to capture this thing. And then you have the older professor who leads the expedition. You have the salty old sea captain, who's probably my favorite character, who is a lot of the comic relief. And also, he's the one person in the expedition who has no idea any of the science or fossils they're looking for. So he's the one all these scientists are explaining the journey and the mission to, which in turn is explaining it for the audience. It's called exposition. Every movie's gotta have it. Yeah, those characters, and then there's like 3 or 4 other characters who are just there for the monster to kill. I don't think those smaller characters even had names. They're just there to be killed. And sometimes those are the most important people in a horror movie. You know what I'm saying? And that's really for the best. It's just such a simple storyline. Because really what you want to see are the scenes of the monster in the water and then attacking people. And it delivers that plenty. You get plenty of that. Now, this was a movie, this was probably one of my favorite Universal monster movies growing up, and now watching it as an adult, it's like, oh, I can just feel how old I am, because I watch it now, and I think, like, God, it must be so humid in the Amazon. Because all the characters just have, like, they have no shirts on, or they're short shorts, and they're just covered in sweat in all their scenes on the boat. And it's like, oh God, it must be hell. That's how I know I'm getting old and I can nitpick these movies apart. This podcast should not be called NickFlix and Chill. It should be Nick Picks Apart Movies way too much. Oh, here's another thing that I need to bring up. This is not just this movie, but so many older movies and TV shows really try to romanticize swimming in a lake, which is swimming in a still body of water. Like, there is bacteria, and it's not, do not swim in a lake, is what I'm trying to say. I don't imagine anyone excited to swim in a lake. It's kind of disgusting. But of course, Julia Adams has to have a scene where she goes swimming and the monster goes after her. Oh, and another thing. She goes for a swim, and she's in, like, her, just a regular kind of attire. She takes it off, and she just has this Olympic-style swimsuit on underneath. And it's like, why did you bring that? You're a scientist on a fossil expedition. Anyway, I shouldn't pick apart the movie like this, because it really is a fantastic film. And it's just the scene, after seeing this so many times, it's like, wait, that doesn't make sense, but if I sat here and just picked apart all the small things in the movie. Oh, one other thing, when it's finally at the scene where they're like, okay, this monster's attacking, we have to head back. They're trying to leave, and oh wait, the monster blocked our way, and there's like 2 sticks. There's like 2 or 3. Not even logs, there's sticks blocking the path, and the boat can't get through these 3 sticks. Are you kidding me? Man, I'm sure that's a moment that always made me laugh when it came up in the movie, but it's like, I forget about it every time I watch it, so every time I see it, it's like, oh yeah, there was that stupid moment in this movie. I really am ripping this movie apart, and that's not my goal here, because I do like this movie, despite its flaws. There's little things in there, but you know what? It's the big picture that makes this movie so fun to watch. But again, the main thing to talk about, of course, is just the creature. How fantastic and iconic it looks. And also those great scenes of Julia Adams swimming and the creature just underneath her, following her. And I just have to think, God, how dirty does that water have to be for her to not just look down and see the creature underneath her? Anyway, I love how, at first, before they think we gotta get out of here, they think, oh, we're gonna capture the creature. Here's our plan. We have, these fish tranquilizers, and let's spray them with that, or let's drop those into the water. And so they completely drug the monster up. So more than half this movie, this poor thing is tripping balls. They really jack up this thing with whatever kind of drugs they have. And the whole time it's like, oh, this monster's so dangerous. It was like, you stop spraying drugs at it. It's not working. They're just making him stronger. Again, it just goes into how sympathetic you feel for the creature. It's a bunch of dumb scientists in his place, in his home, trying to capture him and fuck with him and just giving him a free high. It's a great movie. It really, at the end there, it really just tries to wrap everything up and send you out of there. So just a few final thoughts. It was directed by Jack Arnold, who, if you didn't know, is one of the most prolific science fiction directors of the 1950s. He not only did this, he did It Came From Outer Space, Tarantula, and The Incredible Shrinking Man. He did so much sci-fi in this period. It was also very different kinds of science fiction. Also, this movie was apparently released in 3D. I mean, you'd never guess when you watch the movie today, but hey, a gimmick is a gimmick, and apparently it worked, because this was a very successful movie when it came out. It's the last of the great Universal iconic monsters, and really it came out at a different time where most of the Universal monsters came from 1931 to 1941, except for this one, which was 1955. But still, he gets grouped in with the rest of the monsters, and I say good, because it really adds a lot of diversity to the Universal monster lineup. And I think that's about it. If you haven't seen The Creature from the Black Lagoon, I really recommend. It's a movie you can watch by yourself, turn all the lights off and really experience it, or it's a movie you can watch with a whole bunch of friends with the lights on and maybe you kind of mystery science theater it. Either way, it's such a great classic science fiction movie. Highly recommend it. Thank you for tuning in for another quick, fun little episode of NickFlix and Chill. I'll be seeing you in the next one. Thank you so much. I really gotta find a better way to end these episodes. But you know what? It's still early. We're still figuring out this whole podcast thing. Okay, no one has even listened this far into the thing already. Alright, we're done here. Have a great day.